guess who got a new toy? That would be me. My Ninja flip-up air fryer, and I have been having way too much fun with this. Look at this. Don't you just love that? Like, look. When it's cool, it just goes back up. It takes up less room on your counter. This is not a paid endorsement, let me just tell you that too. I have been having such a great time with this, and today I have something fabulous. When I got this air fryer, everyone talks about, get the air fryer, you can make all kinds of fried food for less than half the fat, so tasty. And I thought, well, what's the kind of thing that I would normally never have, but sounds kind of super delicious? And I'm thinking fish and chips. Who doesn't love fish and chips? But I have come up with a grown-up version of fish and chips that are so tasty, so healthy, you are not gonna believe it. Let's get going. My fries, I'm gonna use russet potatoes. They're apparently very good for fries. And wash them really well because we are keeping the skin on. I'm just cutting them into wedges. And one of the things that you have to do when you're making fries of any kind, once you cut them, wash them, you have to soak them in cold water for as long as you can. So I'm gonna leave these aside, but I've actually cut mine this morning and I've had them soaking today. It takes all the excess starch out, and it really is what allows them to get crispy. So that is a must do, all right? Now that I've got them all wet and been soaking, now I have to dry them. So I'm gonna put my wedges here, and now I'm gonna dry them, both sides. Try to get them, you know, they're not gonna be perfectly uniform in size, but you know what? Do your best to, like, for example, this guy's gonna be maybe done way sooner than that, but then that's probably going to be a good crispy one to try with them. Now, what I'm going to be seasoning them with is, I have rosemary, I have fresh, but you know what, when I made it the other day, I just had dried, and it was perfectly great also. And it's just a rough chop. Don't go getting carried away on all that. It smells so good. So you can probably hear the air fryer on now. You do not need to put it on too far in advance. It heats up like lickety-split, like you have no idea. So there is gonna be that fan snap noise there, so just you're gonna have to bear with that. I've got my rosemary chopped up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray my potatoes all over with my spray, and then I'm going to do this side. I'm gonna sprinkle some of the rosemary and some salt. I'm gonna then put them in my air fryer basket here. And I'm gonna try to put them, the salt and rosemary side down, because then I'm gonna add some on the other side. And when I made this, when Paul and I were just together the other night, I could fit the fish and the fries in at the same time. But now Victoria's home, so there's 3 of us, so I'm gonna do the fries first, and then I'm going to warm them for the part of the fries that comes after. Now I'm gonna spray this side, and add the rest of my rosemary on this side, and I'm gonna put a bit more salt. We should not overcrowd this too much, all right? I've got my air fryer on at 400, and I'm gonna put these in, and I'm gonna give that 10 minutes. While I've got the 10 minutes going for that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start getting my fish ready. Now we're gonna make a really great little filling for the fish that we're gonna fry. I've got 2 frozen, well, mine are thawed, but you know you got this frozen spinach? You can also use fresh. I've got 2 of these cubes in here, and I'm gonna make almost like a little bruschetta kind of a deal here. I've got a shallot. If you don't have a shallot, any kind of onion will do. And this we're gonna use to top the fish inside of our batter. And it's okay if you make too much of this, because it's also great to just serve on top of the fish when it's done, or even just a little bit to the side. We don't want all the extra moisture, so squeeze out your spinach, because there's a lot of excess water in there. Now I've got some little tomatoes. I just happen to have these yellow tomatoes too, so don't go and buy them specially, just tomatoes of any kind. I'm dicing these into small little cubes, random. Don't worry about being exact. Okay, I also just happen to have this fresh basil sitting on my counter, so of course that's going in too. If you don't have basil, use dry basil or oregano. Now to this, let's just put maybe, just maybe a half teaspoon or so of salt, a couple of shakes of the ground pepper, and a shake of garlic powder. That is what's gonna sit on top of our fish in the cute little package that we're gonna make right now. Any of you guys ever use these rice paper wraps? They are great, wonderful for appetizers, but I thought, why not use that for our batter of our fish and chips?
It's freaking me out as well.
So here's the thing that you do with these. You have to dip it in warm water, let it kind of warm up and soften. I make these a lot in the summer. You can use them for salad rolls, even put some chicken and mango and some salad greens and roll them up. They're a perfect appetizer or a great lunch also. So I've got cod, which is, I bought at Costco frozen, and they're nicely portioned. Just by the way, this only has, these ones are 45 calories per wrapping that we're gonna be using. Okay, so you see how now, it's just like a nice thin sheet now. So I've turned over my same tea towel of the excess rosemary on the other side. And now I just need to have this a little bit dry as well. I'm gonna take my fish, which I've also patted dry, and I'm gonna put that right there in the middle. Add a little bit of pepper, tiny bit of salt, and I'm gonna top that with some of our mixture that we've made. I'm gonna wrap it up. That's gonna be our little fish bundle. I just did that to just keep them a little bit moist until I'm gonna do it. I don't want to dry it. Okay, so let's check the fries. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. Now that was 15 minutes on that side. And I think it's also because my tray is more crowded, okay? When there's less fries, they seem to actually go faster. So we gotta give those a little turn around. Okay, and then we're gonna leave those for, I'm gonna say really, because I like things on the crispy side. That's just the way I am. So let's just go for another 10 minutes there. I'm getting this ready. This is what we're gonna toss the potatoes in at the end. I'm gonna do some lemon zest. I just chopped some fresh parsley, and I'm gonna put in some feta, crumbled feta. So I'm gonna leave our potatoes to stay warm, but before I serve them, I'm gonna toss them in this amazing lemon feta, just lemon feta. That is really gonna kick it up a notch. And I'm even going to put a few little bits, tiny, so that it doesn't like knock your socks off with being so sour. So you can see how small those are. So it's not like we're having a wedge of an orange here. And now I'm gonna crumble in some feta. Are you guys getting hungry? Because honestly, this looks really good. Let's go on to our coleslaw, because who's having fish and chips without coleslaw? Now, you know that I buy this stuff, which I think is great. You can also, you know what, if you're like really better than me, you can like shred your own cabbage and all. But I just buy this, which I know I add a lot to my salad. If you watch my video where I made the food for Will, I mix this a lot into my salad. Enough for a little bit of a size for the three of us. Good. I've got seasoned rice vinegar, a staple. Got about 1/4 cup of this. This is the one that they use in sushi rice and all. And it really gives a lot of things really nice flavor. So I got 1/4 cup of that, and I've got a tablespoon of soy sauce, and I've got 2 teaspoons of sugar. And I'm not one to use sugar, but this does really make this. And then sesame oil. I'm just gonna use a teaspoon of that. And that's all the oil that's gonna be in here. So again, I've got my rice wine vinegar, I've got my soy sauce, I got my sugar, and I've got a teaspoon of sesame oil. And mix that all up. I'm gonna add a couple teaspoons of black sesame seeds. Why black sesame seeds, you might be asking? Well, because you're not gonna see the white ones. Because it's just gonna blend in. So we're gonna just add black sesame seeds. You know I'm not great at measuring stuff, right guys? I just think, you know, well that looks kind of good, so that should be enough. And I'm gonna add the dressing that we've made. And I'm gonna toss it. That you can make earlier in the day, and it really lasts great for the next day. Also really nice in wraps or sandwiches, very delicious. So that's ready for when our fish is ready. How do those babies look? Now I'm going to put these on another pan because I need this particular fry thing for the fish. So I'm gonna now spray this again. And I like the fact that this is hot also. If you weren't doing the fries ahead, I would even leave this in the oven a little bit before you put the fish on. So you can see when it was just Paul and I just put the fries in here and I could do the whole thing together. Oh, I forgot. You have to spray. You want them crispy. We're gonna check on them in 10 minutes. It'll be somewhere like 10, 13, 14, all right? My fries are taken out. I'm gonna put them in a bowl. I've got my feta and lemon and my parsley. I'm gonna toss that. These are grown-up fries. Okay. And let's get our fish. Perfect, we got some nice crispy edges here. So let's plate it up and eat. All grown up fish and chips with coleslaw in my new Ninja air fryer. Give it a try. You are gonna love it. I hope you've enjoyed my spin on traditional fish and chips. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna put the link for the air fryer in the description, although I really recommend Costco if you can get it at Costco. It's really a good deal there. And let's just see how this fish looks. Oh yeah. Look at that. Just lovely. And we got a nice crispy part here. I will put all the recipe notes in the description. Please like and subscribe. And that is so rude of me to be eating with my mouth full. Holy mackerel, Nancy. I hope that you enjoy, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one.